So, yes, hi, I'm Mike Matheson, and I'm the discoverer of a new concept in science where I have shown how time flies about the universe in waves, sort of like the background that you see behind me here. And what that means is that time is now, since my discovery, something that we can deal with in a lot more personal ways and get far more productivity out of our own work. And organizations will find that they're going to be able to achieve more of what they want to achieve when they have a full understanding of time. Up until my discovery, very few people, in fact, I don't know of any, and I've done my homework, uh, no one really knows what time is. Go ahead and ask your friends and relatives, colleagues, people you work with, ask them what time they think the time is, not what time it is, because everyone can figure that out by looking at a watch or a clock. But these are just measurements of how fast time is flying past us. No one will really give you a definition of time. They'll just say that it's measured this way and it's measured that way. And the more intelligent ones that will mention Einstein's theory of relativity and things like that. But none of that has any real bearing on what time actually is until my discovery that time is composed of waves. No one had ever thought of that before. And this implied to me, as soon as I realized this one day, it implied a whole bunch of other things about the universe. And one thing about waves is that everyone knows is that, like radio waves, any kind of wave can be modulated. That means they can be altered by human beings. We call this AM and FM, in case you didn't know. Those are two ways that humans modulate waves. And all that means is that we put information into a radio wave or a TV wave or an internet wave by altering the wavelength or the frequency. And that's what electronics is all about. At the radio station, they do this modulation of a radio wave, and it carries the information about the music or the talk show that you're listening to at the other end of the transmission. So in your home or in your car, in your office, you pick up the radio waves, and they are decoded by your decoder box, which is your receiver or an internet modem. Everything in the universe is in waves, I realized one day. So that's what made me realize that time must also be in waves. And so in my book, How to Turn Back Time, I even have the method and the time and date that my theory will be proven. So it's not just pseudo humdy-dum philosophy, it's real science that we're talking about. But on top of all of that, there's a sort of an offshoot where once you understand what time waves are all about, where they come from, how they're modulated, who is modulating them, who or what is modulating them, then you can all be way more efficient with the time of your life. And by that, I mean you can even extend the time of your life by being very careful with how you use it. It's the most powerful force in the universe. It never stops, even while you're sleeping. Time completely continues to flow on, engulfing your life and changing it in oh so many ways. But when you understand the time waves and how they're landing on your person, you can begin to manipulate them and make them your own. And in this way, you become a much more effective person and a much more creative person. But don't take my word for it. Get a hold of my book and study it. It's not very long, and it's full of examples of what I'm talking about. You'll pick it up quite quickly. Even though it's the cutting edge of science, it's also very easy to understand.